Supreme Rising. All right, know the vibes. See the title, talking about everything: people, businesses, spirituality, people, and what I said, spiritual businesses, people, and spirituality. Yeah, I kind of went to sleep early yesterday from, I just say, technical difficulties, and I had a lot of things I wanted to build about yesterday, but like I said before, I've been learning to just marinate on certain energies, and then marinate on certain energies and let it acclimate a little bit better for the representation process. Like, if you want to get it, you don't need to be jumping off the gun thinking you know something, because then somebody got to point it out to you, right? But you know, people do that shit all the time. Before I get into it, I'm feeling drawn to say something other than first and foremost, and I think it's based off how people want to represent something as far as spirituality, and how individuals procure to what's the best representation of how something looks, opposed to what's presentable and stuff of that nature. The reason why I'm speaking about that is because a lot of elders are like that. They like, because they came up through times where presentation was a must, being decent, representing yourself in a way that held value, lineage, stuff like that. And it merged through time and space, and then people would be like, you know, don't speak like this, don't dress like that, don't do this, don't do that. Well, all that energy that came from them was a pride, right? It wasn't, some people was embarrassed, and then other people had a pride, you know what I'm saying? So the embarrassment was based off slavery. It was based off how you felt and how people looked at you, the buck dancing, showing your teeth, okay, sir, type shit. So you always wanted to be presentable in front of people that seemed to have what you called value or power. And then they had the other representation where pride, honor yourself, honor us, carry yourself like you're representing your family. And that's all fine and good. The world we live in doesn't care. The world we live in has aggressed its value to a whole altitude to where what we do is only marketable, not respected, stolen, not held to a value or multiplied in its originality. So the only thing we're holding up those values are for the individuals who are being affected by these processes. I get respect. I love it. I love, how we should respect our individual elders, culture. You come with respect, you get farther in life. You lead with love, you get farther in life. In the same reference, some things shouldn't be projected in certain situations. I can see these conversations happening like as lessons as far as how we have camaraderie for one another culturally. But I don't see that as a reason to play these notions within other derogatory things that don't even have particular respect for themselves. I don't see a need for that. And I'm just going to leave that right there. I could go deeper into that, and I might do it in another live, but I just want to put that out there real quick. I mean, I could have been rude and just say, yo, shut the fuck up. It's none of your business what people do. But let's look at it for what it is. And at the end of the day, we can't dampen where power needs to be asserted at. And I think that level of boundary between that, sometimes it might not look good, but a kiss my ass in the way I need to show it at that moment might not look good to you if you coming in on the back end. So only thing I'm saying is don't be so eager to tear your own down based off what you think you see. Who gives a shit about demon energy, right? Who gives a shit about people who are just living that way anyway? So there's no need to aggress to a value, even checking your own people, like do this in front of them. Why? For what? Anyway, I'm just going to leave that right there. Pointed a value in the matter to the concept of what I wanted to build about first and foremost. Let's kick off with business. People these days are, and I had this conversation, with a individual, a special individual, and we both were in agreement. Today is more about aesthetic. Businesses are not building themselves for their purpose. More businesses are becoming more like an IKEA, on steroids, so to say. And these businesses are taking away the notions from what business is. So business and community, they go together, but they're not together. This is a comprehension that needs to be known. Homes, you live in a neighborhood with people who have houses. That means you do pretty much the same thing in your house based on how you feel it. You can come outside in a robe and go to your mailbox and go back inside your house, right? You can walk your dog in your yard, whatever. This house stuff. When I leave my house to go to a store, I shouldn't be treated like the store lives in my neighborhood, right? Or lives on my street, right? I shouldn't be treated by the store owner like I know them personally. Even if I know them personally, this is store etiquette, yo. A store is in a war zone. We call war zones in political value. These is where people are moving constantly. Commerce is taking place. Different contractual situations are existing. Houses are contractual, but they're separate. That's why I say they go together, but they're not together. This is why you have a separate comprehension of neighborhoods and the place like a plaza or a place where stores are in mass. Very few do you find a store in the actual neighborhood where people are. Very seldom. In the cities, because it's more connected to, that as a value. In the South, not so much. And the point of speaking to it like this is because you don't teach customer service, and customers believe learning the business of a job is a good way to be the best employee, despite comprehending who and what has money, having the right conversation for a person that comes in the store, customer that comes in the store to buy something. There's not a respect for those two things as a medium. Now it's supposed to be, and majority of the time it is, but what's getting away from the store owners is that you have these customers, these workers in your store that have complexes, and they deal with shit mentally to where they think they can treat customers however they want to treat them. And if they judge you based off what they think you have on, they don't know you could be a whole millionaire, but they may judge you based off what you look like and throw away one of the best selves in life. Now, the cross reference to that is the disrespect that comes with that from a customer service, right? That's supposed to be representing a business. If we were to start every time someone did something from an employee perspective to a customer, and instead of the customer fighting or arguing with the store or their worker about what they did, and that employee just went directly to the Better Bureau Business app and just put it out there, and instead of people complaining, they all just went to the Better Bureau app. The Better Bureau app is just like a Facebook and shit like that. That shit gonna blow up. It's gonna blow up bigger than ever. But then all the businesses and the connection to what allows businesses to be solidified is going to know that you're putting your business out in a type of way that doesn't suit the notion of a free country, right? Let's just say it like that. And the more this is referenced, the more profit these businesses are going to lose, right? Who wants to deal with that? Which will give the option for people who know how to do shit correctly to recreate these values in probably lesser or cheaper aspects. Only thing I'm saying is there's not enough attention to how we should do things and fix it correctly, opposed to the detriment that's playing out. And if I have to come as a civilian to tell you, why don't you teach your customers? I mean, teach your employees customer service. If I have to tell you that, why are you running a business? I'm just saying, it doesn't make sense to play these insignificant games with businesses and people. That's a different class of comprehension. It's always going to be the businesses serve the people, not the people serve the business. So if you can't adhere yourself as a correct store owner, and on top of that, let's get something straight, yo. Every last one of you businesses are supposed to pay the full price of your insurance. So if you lose, damage, or have damaged goods, you can get that money back. That's what you pay your insurance for. You know what I'm saying? Instead of, trying to chase people down over a water bottle. Water was free. And that's not even my point. I'm just speculating to the value. So the major stores, they have insurance on their business if they get damaged boxes. I used to work in a warehouse, so I knew if we got damaged boxes, they would take the price immediately down to nothing, literally 95% off of the price that they're going to sell it to the store, and let the employees get it for nothing. Brand new TV. The TV ain't even broke. It's just the box that's damaged. The box. TV ain't damaged, it's the box. So the insurance would cover that. So it kind of begs to differ why people get so upset about theft. Like, I'm going to get out here and chase somebody down. I'm going to stop you from doing. You got insurance, yo. That's what you pay it for. These places are not supposed to be Fort Knox and stuff like that. You're a business and you have authority figures. That's why police have jobs. It's what you get surveillance systems for if you want to do that. That's what you got the beep for if you want to do that. You went that far. You have to let it play out. If your security regiment is not up to par to stop people from stealing, which is a crime, right? Then I think your company should invest in a police system or a policing system. Give the police more jobs. Instead of having them run around the city doing nothing, let them police the stores. You can put 4 or 5 police in an office in a corner building of your store and let them sit there and monitor your store or whatever. And if somebody's still, they don't go to the whatchamacallit, they go to jail. You can do that. Which would give more businesses or more jobs opportunity, give more people opportunity. There's nothing wrong with doing the right thing. I get that. But having your employees act like they superhero gonna get them messed up. They're gonna get them hurt. That's all that's gonna happen. And it's not gonna be justified because you're just an employee. You're here to make me feel comfortable when I come in your store, nothing else. And if y'all start crossing the line in different neighborhoods with people being disrespectful, you still gotta go home at night. Your second life, despite the life you live in your store, is your regular life. You don't want these people impeding on your regular life because you cocky at work. Just saying. Next topic. People. People get a little bit of power or get manipulated in some value and then multiply these comprehensions in their own mentality, thus becoming weak in their own understanding. You see what I'm saying? So while people are thinking that, I can treat or talk to anyone any particular type of way, you know what I'm saying? You are trading out your innocent aspect of who you are as a person. And as you trade that out, you are becoming something different with no help. It's just falling over you because it's the easiest thing to absorb. The dumb shit. You notice how dumb things are readily available to remember? You don't notice how the negative things, they stay with you easier than things that take processes and discipline. You can even master some shit with discipline and forget that you put that much work into it because that's how much focus it took. That shows you that it was harder to do. So then you start to understand that people are like that. People like to do the easier part because, shit, why think? What's the purpose in thinking to where I could just acclimate to stupidity? And then they want everybody to agree with the fact that they're weak understanding of mental capacity. Because you don't want to do nothing with your mind or your capability of understanding, or even the simple things that you do know. You would rather digress to a stupid way of thinking because it's easier. If you're going to be petty, at least be intelligent. Don't be petty because you're stupid. Don't be petty because you don't know how to think. Don't be petty because that's the only thing you can resort to. See, it looks weak when you do something that everybody else does because you don't know how to do something else. That shit look weak as hell. It looks weak when you join the crowd because you're just too damn weak to stand on your own. That's some sucker shit. And every other notion that follows the same comprehension. So, I'm just saying. With people, these particular mentalities don't really hold up weight with intelligence. Majority of the time, when that's the norm and everybody can digress to those particular thoughts, that's how you can pick out how many people are on the same wavelength of those lower mentalities. You'll be like, damn, that's those people. That's how they think. They're willing to do that. Division doesn't have to be impressed. Division already exists. You don't have to push division or nothing. Things are already divided. It's just that the things that are divided in this natural orientation don't want to stay there. So it'll move to something else because it believes it's other than what it is. And it'll try to attach to things that it think it is. That's how it hides. Almost like a fungus or a germ. You know how a germ get in your body and they'll try to hide under shit so you don't know that it's there. Like your body don't know it's an impurity. You know what I'm saying? And that's the same thing. It may be able to hide and certain things can't get to it to expose it. But there's something out there that can, and eventually you'll be pulled to it. You'll magnetize to what needs to expose it. Because divine don't play, regardless of the fact. There's nothing that can hide from divine. Even if you build up a whole castle around your bullshit. Just like if a germ build up a whole mucus wall around it so nothing can attack it, it's eventually going to get dissolved or that body ain't going to make it. But with divine, it always wins. So I would consider that people think about that before just acclimating to anything you see going on, putting your 2 cents in anything that's going on, having a cross reference about something particularly going on with somebody else's life. I would really, really second guess that these days, especially with the change of and the upgrowth of what's going to happen consciously with babies and people and everything else, because you're going to look real stupid coming soon. And they're going to be like, why? Like the response factor going to be crazy. It ain't going to be like how it was when we was in the 80s or in the 90s. What you talking about? It ain't going to be those facial expressions. It's going to be, why did you choose to feel that way at this time? Like they're going to be so smart. Like the younger kids are going to be so articulate and so abrasive to the comprehension. Like they're going to just no. So like when they say something, it's going to rub hard and you're going to look real crazy when they check you when the future coming, because the mind is already equating those values right now. So if you're not at least a part of that change, people, you're going to be in a real, talking about embarrassment, it's not even going to be the level of inflicting embarrassment how people do. You're just going to be looking stupid. and somebody gonna have to grab you by your hand and say, come on, let's walk out of here, because you literally just like embarrassed everybody. So you don't want that energy, and that's to come. All right. I don't even have to go deep into that, but yeah, that's what's gonna happen soon. That's people. Spirituality. For the most part, spirituality has been held in the conjunction of how individuals want to perceive or put out religious factors, control notions, fight or flight, bedtime story, fear, whatever aspect, in some form opposite of natural orientation. Spirituality is only the simplest way to explain it, without all the rhetoric that people like to use. All praises to the Most High, supreme creator of all creators, good, bad, and indifferent. Is the fact that spirituality is just animation. That's what spirituality is. The effects of spirituality is, or the effect of animation is what we call spirituality. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to jumble that up real quick. Spirituality is animation, right? It's the access of having the light delivered from its source into the inanimate object, which is the sac that will merge or mold into life, into a being. So without the light coming into there, you can't be animated, right? So the process of what happens to that physical body and what it lives through is the ality, the spirituality, right? So the soul comes in, spirituality is the existence of that, the life of it. People like to say, oh, what's the difference between a soul and a spirit? And some people will say, oh, a spirit is this, and some people got spirits, some people got souls. And look, people like to take words and make divine fit in a compartment. I don't give a shit what it is. How about that? It don't even matter. I know whatever it is, it's the light inside of you that animates your flesh. And when your body dies, that light leaves. You call it what the hell you want to call it. One of them might be made from a creator of the divine, and the other one might be made from the divine itself. That's the actuality I got, because I know other creators exist, but they're not the master creator. So the process of living is the expression of the gift given, which is the animation of flesh, or the act of living. All the processes that come with that have to do with your comprehension of that notion or your manipulation of it. Meaning you was manipulated out of the knowing of your innocence, or that's all you know is the connection to divine. But then you have aspects of that too. You have parts of it that expand through existence perceptions. People's undying love, the way they see things. People's undying hate for how it didn't serve them. People's comprehension of it. People's lack thereof of investing in it and not being served by it. All these things are comprehensions and experiences to people's spirituality. And what these notions are explaining is their adherence to this energy. How well it works for them. You only get a lesson when you're walking in the opposite direction. Some people can force certain circumstances on a person, and the strength of what they believe may maintain them through what they're being forced to deal with. There are all types of circumstances that can appear as if there is a divine regiment taking place when people have envy, jealousy, and hate for you. Spirituality ain't nothing to play with. If you're going to put on the face of acting like you want to show someone what it looks like to suffer at the hands of what divine would particularly do, be willing to accept the same thing when you're done doing what you do, or you're not adequate enough to continue doing what you do, or divine stops you from doing what you do, and now you have to take on everything that you tried to put someone through. Spirituality ain't nothing to play with. It spins. For the soul to come into your body, it spins in the whirlwind. So what does that tell you? It's telling you that energy is circulating. It's spiraling. So if it goes, it has to spiral around. That's what makes the football spin. The energy that's spinning it. So any energy that you throw starts to spin. It be the simple things that go over people's head just because their intentions be fucked up. And then you be mad that you ain't as smart as you think you are because you really don't pay attention to life. But then when life be kicking your ass, you want to blame everybody for that shit. Not even taking responsibility, accountability, or even notice to what you putting out. You don't care because your mouth trashy, your thoughts trashy. Shit fall out your face with no regard. You don't think about what you say or what you do. And then you mad at what you put out is nasty, comes back to you. Ain't nobody that damn dumb. And if that's what you is, then it's a classification and a place you need to be sitting at. Because if you got people in a group following that shit, a whole fucking line of boo-boo the damn fool, and y'all want to end up like that too, then hey, it happens. They used to say back in the day, if your friend tell you you're gonna jump off a bridge, if your friends tell you to jump off a bridge, you gonna jump too? Look at that. Now you got the friend that's telling you to jump off a damn bridge and all y'all are just flying. Shit crazy as a motherfucker, ain't it? That's how you know. That's how you be knowing your spirituality ain't no game. Divine will whip that shit around at you like a damn hula hoop. And you'll keep trying to act like it's just something else. It's something else. People like, yo, why I be like that all the time? You stay in that shit. That shit ain't come up off you yet. Nope. Sometimes divine place things in the conjunction of people so they can have the understanding of how divine works. Divine will take life and take time from you and give you youth because you're deserving by your discipline. Divine will make you powerful at an old age just so you can surpass a young gift. Divine will change the metabolic reason and what the world said about something just so you can bring forth what you brought forth because of your adherence to divine. And divine, all powerful. There's no not nothing that divine can't do. There's never a sediment of that. There's never going to be a not nothing with divine. It really believes in the sincerity of the connection between you. If you have let me hit you in the head real quick. Between you and divine is a straight line. The thought in between you and divine is called creation. Don't let me hold you, yo. I'm trying to show you something right now, yo. And if you don't want to listen, that's your personal problem, all right? But I'm telling you some real G shit right now. The connection between you and divine, right, is a straight line. It's your soul. The thought in between you and divine is manifestation. You heard? A lot of people ain't gonna get that. So I may come back and build on that again another time. But for the person that just came in the room, what I said just now was the thought or the connection between you and divine is a straight line. And a thought in between the connection in between you and divine is manifestation. That's what that is. So know that if you're trying to manifest, that's how that shit works. If you don't want to, that's cool too. Spirituality is just that in its whole totality. And the reason why people can't get it is because of that reason. You're acclimated more to the flesh. But if you want to hear more about what I just broke down, you're gonna have to go back and listen. Um, the fifth thing I want to talk about is specific, because a lot of people don't know this, and I had experience with it, and I know that this is what happens in real time. So you can actually, and I don't know, I'm not going to tell you that this is for everybody, because I don't know. But what I do know is I'm watching and paying close attention, and I'm seeing that people don't know that they're able to do this, and they're doing it, and then they're being trapped in it because the change is not taking place completely. What am I even talking about? A lot of people create things, right? You create visuals, you write things down. They want you to write stories. They want you to write books. You may write a book, and that book is your pains and passions and all that. And it was a good piece of work. And then after, you might get a couple of more of those off, and then life just starts going down, right? Like you're like, why shit going seem different? Or you may find yourself, something you said or something you're wearing or something you projected, you're doing that in real time. Like, I remember having a thought like this, and I'm doing it right now. Whatever that is, I'm wearing something, I'm, in some particular energy that you spoke on at a particular time within a creation that you were doing, whether it was a book, a video, art, whatever. And if you vibing with me on this right now, if you've had this particular type of feeling, or if you don't, you haven't, but you are a creator and you think this is something you need to know, check this shit out. Sincerity comes when you are doing these things. You are so focused. You are sincere when you are creating, which that thought is in between you and the divine. So when you putting your all into this work, writing, artwork, whatever, and whatever you projecting, you're bringing it into fruition. You just don't know that though. You just think it's something you're doing. But what happens is, be mindful of where you are when you are creating, because that what you bring forth is what you will be a part of. So you might fuck around and think shit is going good and find yourself in a particular thing that you created. And like, yo, why am I even here? I did this myself. And when I found myself in specific places, I was like, this is crazy, because I remember writing this shit. And then I also knew that I wrote other things that rose everything. That comprehension in its own value was freeing for me, particularly because I was able to rise. But it was like divine was speaking through me to write these things on purpose. So then the knowledge I was being given, I was going to live it, and I was going to rise through it. I'm running into other people that were doing, like, I can catch them at this certain part when they're writing, and I'm like, yo, hold on, peep game. Make sure you peep this part. So you don't have to, and then it was crazy because it was indicative, like they were speaking towards it, you know what I'm saying? They were like, yo, something XYZ might happen. And I'm like, nah, yo, that ain't gonna happen. And I wasn't even thinking about it at the time, but then the following statement was, yeah, because I made this, and somebody else had told me I should do it like this. And I'm like, yo, that's too indicative. Yo, that's too crazy. Even a frequency of energy outside that person came to add to the value of solidifying a thought that the person couldn't see. So the person didn't see the synchronicity, but I heard the word of what they said. And then with the person that was outside the situation added to their thought that they should add to what they were creating. And then they brought the reference to me. That was 3 right there. I was like, yo, you about to create that shit and bring it into fruition. I wanted to catch that right then because I knew exactly where this person was. And I was like, you don't want to add this to your existence. Don't create that way, because that shit is trying to make you create that shit. That was almost like a projection. And this was the first time I was able to see it through the ether like that. I was able to see a thought of somebody's detriment being placed on someone and them wanting the outcome to be this way. and the person not knowing that that energy was attached to them, so they were simultaneously birthing it in existence while they were suffering. And I was like, nah, catch that 22 right there. Catch that 22 right there, so you don't got to slip in that. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of people don't know that'll be happening, and you'll be in a headspace, and they'll be trying to project shit to you just so you'll birth it. Just so you'll birth that reality. You know what I'm saying? Like, people out here in this world is super wicked, man. You know what I'm saying? And Divine knows how wicked people are. And when people start taking on characters that are not there, it's the worst thing ever. So you don't know sometimes how you get in a situation. You just ended up following emotional standpoints that you thought was real. You know what I'm saying? And them shits wasn't real. They was projections. And because you was already damaged, that shit was easily able to come into your armor. And when that shit got into your armor and wrecked shop, and you follow suit, whatever thought manifested in there, that's why you be thinking that you wrong. All praises to the Most High. Oh, you give it to me, I'm gonna go all in, I'm gonna go all deep inside the haystack and get the tiny needle out of that. You ain't hiding shit from me. Big facts. All praises to the Most High. And just because you don't say nothing, people be thinking you don't know shit. I be like, man, cut it out. You the one out here adding burdens to your life, doing the most. Like, why would you want to live that way? You know what I'm saying? Why would you want to live that way? It's a crazy detriment. You know what I'm saying? And then more deeper than that, to the value, like, you don't see yourself. Why would I trade out what Divine gave me for anything worldly? Like, why would I do that? Of course, you're gonna learn things as you go through life, but throwing away the fact that the love and the respect that Divine said, I give you a piece of me to exist. Without that piece of me, you couldn't be rude, disrespectful, lost, found, in control, boss, rich, whatever. You couldn't do nothing without that. Nothing. You couldn't even hate me without that. You couldn't be up on here hating on me without that. As much as y'all love to. Shit don't matter. You know what I'm saying? So everybody always got something to say and nothing to do. Everybody always got something to say and nothing to do. Big facts. All praises to the Most High. And that's always going to be that. That's why Divine gets all the praise. You dumb. Oh, Divine wants you to praise him. Of course, I gave your dumb ass the soul, the energy you got inside of you to be animated, to move around, to think you don't need me. I gave that to you. Even your creator got energy enough for me to bring you in fruition, even though it wasn't ready to create yet. That's for the other creations that think they know better. I'm just saying, it is what it's gonna be. We need to stop arguing with stupid shit. Like, seriously, like, these conversations are dumb these days. Like, seriously, if that's as far as the consciousness of the entirety has gotten, y'all ain't went nowhere, yo. Y'all ain't even went nowhere. I don't even really like coming way down here to talk about the basics. That shit is boring. I be really up in whole other levels by myself, in those classes by myself, dolo. I will backstroke this consciousness the way everybody else be thinking. And I'm like, yo, this shit crazy. The whole world needs an upgrade now, because y'all don't even see it. I need to, and I've been telling my people, yo, I need somebody to get me a podium that can speak to everybody. We need some translators. And I need a podium so I can do my show called Divine Comedy. And I can talk shit and talk truth at the same time, no matter who like it. Yeah, and I want ultimate protection. So therefore, because I'm going to hurt feelings and I'm going to make people laugh and cry at the same time. Oh, it's going to be real, but y'all going to leave with some real shit. I'm telling you, I've been holding shit back for too long. Y'all ain't ready, yo. They ain't ready. And everybody wanted just so they can make a little piece of a video or whatever. Man, look, this is not a game. It's good y'all keep taking these little pieces and making your little videos all over the world and stuff. I don't care. But I'm going to tell you something. I told everybody, if you ain't been watching all my videos, I've been telling people for a minute, it's a trap, yo. And I told you straight up, like, I'm not sitting there making it into no false video or a fake funny movie to make you believe. No, it's a trap. You know what the trap is? If you wrong and you come grab up this divine energy, you got to walk that juice. You got to walk all that juice of of creation that you making. So when you start saying you could do stuff, Divine gonna say, oh word, let's see how far you can go. And you're gonna get a little bit of juice to go a little further. It's gonna make you feel good, like you really doing something. You're gonna get some profit off and everything, gonna juice you up. Gonna be like, yo, what I did really worked. And then you know what Divine gonna do? Put you to the test. Gonna put you right through the test. You're gonna be like, why am I going through all this? Nah, you said you could do it. You said, nah, remember you was doing the post. You was telling everybody, you know what I'm saying, you had this, you knew it. All right, let's see if your brain can really contain it now. Let's see if you can really hold that. You know what I'm telling you, yo, it's Divine. It'll be funny as shit. I'm telling you, yo, it's funny as shit. It don't work. It's no different for nobody, yo. So everybody who picked up a piece, just know your turn shall come. And yeah, I hope you're ready. It ain't gonna be about lifting no weights or having enough food in your stomach or being the smartest in the right situation. None of that shit don't matter, yo. I'm telling you, Divine will strip the main thing that you depend on right from you and try to see what you do. I'm trying to tell you, we'll strip it right from you. Change people right in front of your face. Break your heart, all that. Oh no, this is what you wanted. And you'll be thinking somebody else did those things, when in fact, it's because of what you did. And sometimes you don't do enough introspection on your life to see everything that you've done. See, salvation happens in so many different ways and growth happens in so many different ways, but you have to be able to listen and adhere. My hard-headedness with me, Divine was like, I got you if you just let me help you. That's what it was for me. Divine kept telling me, he was like, I'll help you if you let me. Stop trying to do it yourself. You're always trying to do it yourself. That was me. Ain't nobody really gonna tell you. If people can lie all they want, but ain't nobody gonna really tell you I ain't been standing on my own for a long time. See, you can't put all the stories of my life together without including that. Because damn near 80% of the things I did in my entirety was dolo. So people could talk a lot of shit. People could say a lot of things about me. But if you tell the whole story of truth, they're going to be like, so where was you when all this was happening? See, that's why nobody never come ask me nothing. That's why people don't never ask me nothing. Because the stories have to negate the value of certain situations, so therefore you won't. 80% of my life, and people who really know me will tell you, nah, G been doing stuff like that by himself for a minute, trying to put people on. He been that person. He showed us more shit than we showed him. He brought shit to us more than we brought to him. That's people who will keep it 1,000 with you. People who hate on the shit I did, they ain't never tell you that because they hate the fact that I brought it to them. That's the real truth about a lot of shit. Yeah, they'll never say, yeah, he did this first. I ain't never seen that until he did this. That's when you'll get motherfuckers stuttering and shit, acting like they forgot that or whatever. Oh, nah, it's because embarrassment, man. Embarrassment shouldn't be a key to hold nothing supreme, but some people get embarrassed, yo. Instead of being like, nah, my peoples. That's how you rise shit up. That's how you raise shit up, by giving credit to where it is. You raise it up by doing that and saying it truthfully, not with hate on your tongue. And then people wonder why area don't grow, because it's you cultivating hate. You're not cultivating love. People come where love is. What is love? Love makes a person feel comfortable. So if everybody got love for each other, then we embody the love. Then what happens? Everybody from other places want to come and feel that love that y'all embody. Why you think other places blow up? They be like, how this state got on? How this state came up? How they all got money? They all started loving each other. Big facts. Despite what anybody thought, that area started loving and taking care of each other. Even if it got heavy and hot, and you go to any of these areas, states or whatever, that's how the transition happened. If it was in the streets with gangs, right? If it was with females, if it was in other, they came together and stopped the bullshit, yo. Any area where you see people don't come together at, they're not prosperous there. So you'll have more people talk shit about areas that are prosperous. Right? They'll be like, oh, they ain't this, they ain't that. Of course, the life is not perfect. So me pointing out the imperfections is asinine on my behalf. So for a place to be commerce ready, everybody living good and making money, and then outside of that, somebody like, oh, but they still got this problem and that problem. You know what that tell me? You mad you not a part of that. That's why you pointing out the negatives. Otherwise, you'll be lifting it up or be a part of that good that's going on, right? You'll have your placement in that. I got to start thinking, man, and stop letting dumb shit be the way you agree to comprehend. And this is why I don't even like talking to people majority of the time. I just get quiet because you'll hear some things people say and you'll be like, yo, that shit was stupid as fuck. I don't even know why you said that. That's how I think for real. And I ask somebody like, yo, why you said that though? I do that shit all the time. I've been like that, and people be looking at me like I'm crazy, and they laughing, but I'm really trying to figure out what's funny. My homeboy, I could tell y'all stories after stories after stories, and niggas would be shocked that I would say stuff. They'd be like, yo, why you? And I'd be like, cuz that shit don't make no sense to me. I don't just go along to get along. And then sometimes I won't say nothing. And then sometimes I felt bad when I was younger, not saying nothing, thought I was just like a little bit too angry or something, and I would fake laugh at shit because I thought laughing was what you were supposed to do. This is me being a kid. This is me trying to adjust every little feeling. Like everybody else thought it was funny, so maybe I should think it's funny too. And I tried that. Inside, it didn't feel good. I tried that for real. I tried to do the fake laughing thing. I couldn't do it, yo. It didn't feel good inside of me, man. That shit aggravated the shit out of me as a person. So whenever I was around people and I had to fake laugh, I started understanding. I would ask myself, yo, why you fuck with them if you got to do that? So then I started pulling myself away from people that I felt like it was no real need for me to be around them like that. That's me being honest with myself. I know a lot of people don't do that shit. I can't help that, yo. I can't help but to be real myself. You know why? Because it felt bad when I lied to me. Seeing that people lie to everybody so much, I was like, yo, I ain't gonna never lie to me, yo. People be lying too damn much. Like people lie just like they don't care that Divine put truth in them. So I said to myself, I don't want to be like that. I would watch what people do and vow that's not what I wanted for myself, yo. And you know, that just made people mad. Because they wanted me to be like what they wanted. The whole time, I'm like, shit, you ain't gonna win that battle. Even if I don't get the aesthetic value of what the world says I'm great, you know what I won in? Saying no to you and standing with Divine. I won in that. I can say that. Ain't too many people can say they ain't never walk away from the Divine. Nah, ain't nobody can say that. You can talk all the shit you want to talk about life, what you did for people, how you did this for who, but what you do for the Most High, who gave you life. The first reciprocal energy that ever gave you anything, did you do right by that? Did you reciprocate what Divine gave you before you reciprocated everybody else? Yeah, because you're careless. You don't think about what gave you first. That's why people don't have respect these days. That's why people think they can do and treat individuals how they feel. That's fine. That's fine. I just got to stand where I'm supposed to. Obedience feel good sometimes. I told a wonderful person yesterday, I was like, how does it feel to be in the pathway of the choice of where someone should have chose? Because you know you get choices in life. And sometimes a person will make a choice and they'll take the wrong road, and now they on that road, and the road they should have took was the road that you was on. I told that to somebody else. I said, how does it feel knowing that you're on the path that the person should have took? And then the whole thing, the path expressed itself when the owner of the situation reached out to the individual and was like, yo, tell me what happened, so and so and so and so. They was kind of mind boggled. Like, how did they even know? Like, yo, they can do a soft pull on that. That's easy. And they saw you was of value and they wondered why I wasn't solidified. That person looked like an asshole. And that's where that came from. That's why I was like, yo, how does it feel to be on the path of the choice that someone should have made? That shit get deep. It really get deep. And then people be so wrapped in their own bullshit, they can't even fix the shit they broke. They don't even want to fix the shit they broke. And then they talking about, oh, if I do all, you think you're going to go around the hole you put in the concrete that divine dug on the path that was supposed to be road? You going to go around that hole? Nah, you going to go fill that shit in before you come back across that road. The space missing. All my creation is supposed to walk down the same path that I laid for them. So if you broke that path, that means any connection through that value is severed. Ain't no salvation, not through my lineage. Divine don't play. Like, people be thinking they doing shit momentary for the moment. Nah, you be fucking up your lineage. Sometimes you can remove your DNA from an existence. You can remove your likeness from an existence, depending on how. And I fuck around and find out. That little momentary, you think that shit means something. Divine will speed that time up, crush that time, and multiply the time you're going to suffer in that. And what you have, it'll go by so fast, you'll feel like it happened within a day. It'll feel like it happened in a day. Oh, things so good, it went by so damn fast, and then you look up, the suffering is long. Long. You be like, damn, man, why this shit? What the fuck? Divine to do that shit on purpose. And the whole time that you prolonging what you're supposed to do, Divine gonna keep supplying for his, just so you will see the power in the Almighty. Yeah. Fuck around and find out. All praises, yo. Like, that's why I try to give people the comprehension to know that Divine is always with you. You can give power to anything else in this world. You can, you can try to demonize shit. You can try to call on this and call on that and say this is more, this is going to happen, and this is, but nothing is more scarier or powerful than the Divine. There's nothing more good or bad than the Almighty, period. Nothing. There's no contender for the Divine. No contender. Period. I don't care what nobody said about a story. There's no contender for the energy of all. So when you're in the house of all, you're going to, contend with that in so many ways that you probably couldn't even fathom. And if I even had the facility to consummate that type of comprehension for myself, just on the scale of how I think, if I created everything, just as me, right, as an individual right now, if I had to create the ultimate security, anytime you went against my energy, you would suffer. Based on the scale of what you put out. You did a little bit, you get a little bit back. Every time you did something, it would increase that value. Every time you went against me. And that would teach you to know that I am. Unbeknownst to you, you have allowances. You have the option to experience and live, breathe, feel. But when you pre-plan, premeditate, immorally go against the values of naturality, you have shown me the ultimate disrespect. And keep in mind, you're doing that in what I gave you, in the energy that I gave you. I'm trying to figure out why you think like that. I gave you that energy. What became so strong to where what I gave you was unimportant? Yeah, ultimately, that's probably how I would have it done after you showed me that what I gave you wasn't enough. And you still don't comprehend without what I gave you is the reason that you're even here. So I would let you, display your hatred for me and how you move and what you do, just so I can see how far you're willing to go with your own thoughts. And then after I see the completion of that, I can choose to see fit, because I am all, to let that thought pattern exist or go away, and also see this thought pattern in anything else that you created. I can see the similarities and everything else and letting you complete this in full. And after I see that you do this in full, I can remove it from existence. I can see the dynamic and how strong it is, the volume level. I can see what it would be capable of. After that, I can multiply the rest. Through my infinite knowledge, I can multiply the rest. If I leave that at its own recognizance to do whatever it wants, I can see what it would do if it was left at its own ability. So then at that point, I can choose to let it exist or not. I am the all. While it thinks it's suffering to things I create, while it thinks it's being something suffered to what I created. All praise to the Most High. And if I could have a simple thought like that, just me, loving, mysteries and fairy tales and all that shit. If I can think of a concept like that, the way Divine got it set, I ain't even in the facility. I'm not even in the ratio. I'm not even in the what? If I could think of something like that, I can imagine how folded in, like, literally it folds in on itself, like it's intertwined dimensionally. That ain't something I would want to play with. Like if I can think of something that heavy as far as security based off creational aspect, what Divine would do is unimaginary. So yeah, it is what it's gonna be. I ain't gonna hold you. Just want to show you something, man. NAGA The Wise. Enjoy your weekend. And if ain't nobody told you today, NAGA love you, you already know the vibes. Peace.